Thank you so much. Okay, so sorry, the last video cut out. Sorry, forgive me. So no, yeah, okay. So back to the Nephilim. Forgive me, I'm channeling as I'm speaking. So, what does this say? Okay, right. Okay, so these beings can influence people. Okay, in all kinds of ways. They can traumatize them for life. They can probably influence people to, perhaps can carry out similar acts in real life as well. And in that sense, we've got to look at the people who do these things, and there are other reasons for this as well, that as victims, okay, because they are victims. Because God has shown me, all it is, source has shown me that we're loved unconditionally, okay, and God sees that we're victimized. God knows that we're victimized by these beings, okay? God knows, God sees everything, God knows everything. Do you know what I mean? This idea of hell and condemnation is not real. It's not a thing. It's not actually true. Hell is something that these beings want you to believe in. They want you to believe in hell, because the idea of hell causes separation. It causes fear. It causes people to become stuffed in. It keeps people, like I said, it keeps people like in a state of fear. Okay, and these beings love that. They love it. They love it. They think it's food. Okay, for them, they love it. They love that. They love it. So again, the idea of hell is this place. Our God loves us unconditionally, okay, without exception. Nobody is going to burn in hell. That's the first thing. Okay, these people, like even Jeffrey Epstein, Virginia Giuffre, all like other people involved with this stuff, they have been victimized probably at some point in their lives by these beings and dynamics. Okay, they are we've got to see each other as like eternal children if we can, which we are, and think about how it is, how awful, how terrible it is that these dynamics can have such an effect on people's minds, whatever side of this you're coming from, whatever side of it this is you're coming from. Okay, it's a tragedy. It's a human tragedy. Okay, which we can change course. We can change course. We can totally change course. Okay, we can change course. We can uproot this network in a compassionate and consciousness informed and merciful manner. Okay, because that is the way that is seen by all that is God's source. Again, that's not to invalidate people's trauma or how they feel towards the people who've done the things to them or whatever, but the fact is that these beings are souls too. And they are also, again, from the perspective of from a higher perspective, they are seen as victims. Okay, they are also, because their heads are full of rubbish. Their heads are full of rubbish about who they are. Okay, and they can be rehabilitated. They can be rehabilitated. Okay, if we start showing insights about consciousness and also go through God and healing modalities, consciousness, insight. Again, this can, on both sides, people who do these things and also people who are victims and as well. Okay, I know that this can be effective. Okay, because these are things that I've used in my own life. Okay, all right, to try and heal a lot of trauma. And also, again, seeking guidance and support, seeking all that is source, God, our creator, seeking truth, realizing we're not our bodies. The realization that we're not our bodies is also really useful. Okay, something that we could really help people. And I'm thinking of starting an initiative under that banner to help people, in various situations that might need that sort of, because it's helped me, inspired me tremendously to come out of that body identification and identify more with my soul. Okay, and that's tremendously healing. Okay. Again, seek God, seek source, seek whatever you want to call the higher power, that is unconditional love, unconditional. Okay, and seek it. Seek Jesus. Seek Buddha. Seek guides. Seek loved ones. Go exploring. Do do pray, meditate. Do those things, but basically that we can, and also grace and mercy and compassion, and just calling this out for what it is, which is a tremendous deception. that we've got to stop. Okay, we've got to stop to look at this and think, gosh, how, okay, that's enough. Okay, no more phenomenon. Okay, no more giving these beings seats at the table. Okay, no more. No more. Okay, no more. Yes, UAP are interesting. UAP, yes, okay. Extraterrestrials, yes, but no more giving the phenomenon. And again, I'm not religious, okay? I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. I don't, again, you know, these beings, again, they serve they're like friction in this rule set. Okay, they're friction, like I said. Okay, I'm not religious, but again, there are links from, you know, scriptures to, you know, again, that sort of spoke about these beings as well. And this is why we have these dynamics on the planet, is because secret societies, when they explored their consciousness, they came into contact with these beings. Okay, and they began to channel them. And a lot of scripture you know, a lot of channelers over the course of time have probably channeled these beings, or they've made contact with these beings and sort of taken them as gods or inspiration, or because of an aversion to God through the religious trauma, they've gone towards the direction of Satanism and AI worship and eugenics and things like that, and because their lives are been underwritten by insecurity, okay, and and a lack of faith in God, so to speak. What I'm trying to say is, like, again, and I've got I don't follow religion for that reason myself, because I find the language of religion very dogmatic, and I haven't had good experiences with religion myself, so I try to stay away from that stuff, okay, as much as I can. But what I'm trying to say is that it can all be healed, it can all be corrected, but we've got to make a choice. We got to make a choice for the better. We got to look at this and say, no more, okay? And it's okay for us to be vulnerable. Like, that's the other thing I'd like to say, is that it's okay for us to be vulnerable. Like, it's okay for us to say, we were kids who were influenced, or people are not as all together as we think they are. Let people who are high up in society, so to speak, let them be vulnerable. Let them be children in the eye. Do you know what I mean? Let them unfold. Let their stories unfold. Let those influences unfold. Let that happen across the board if we can. Okay, as much as we possibly can. Let people let's realize again that we are eternal children. And again, that's not to sound biblical or anything, but we are eternal children. We are eternal children. We are eternal children in the eyes of our Creator. We are its children. We are its progeny. We are its, and so in that we are ever learning, and that learning doesn't stop when we leave school. It doesn't stop when we leave school. Okay, we're always learning, and there's always something to identify and look at and think, do you know what? We can change this. We can do this differently. That's awful. Okay. We can always do that. People don't have it together. And we kind of know this. That, like, people don't have it together. Like, again, that's, I mean, giving grace to each other for that reason and identifying these hidden influences could really help change our world. Okay, it could really, really help change our world for the better. Okay, it could help change the world for the better to do this. Call this out for what it is. Okay, which is a form of psychic mutilation, and it's a crime against humanity, really, that we're still allowing these things to continue. But yet people are also these people who are practicing these things are being victimized as well. Okay, we need to be offering options to each other, a way out, amnesty. Again, looking at this from the eyes of, like, children, looking at them as people as children again. Sorry, I just, and thinking a bit more out of the box, okay, and just looking at this for what it is. I know that there are people out there probably watching this and thinking, oh, I don't believe in this stuff. I call a spade a spade. All that matters is the tangible. We are our bodies, and that's fine. No, that's absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. But I hope that changes, and people deserve to have that insight. People, again, it's not because people are stupid, and people's lives are incredible. People's lives are beautiful. Okay, there's so much more than, you know, this phenomenon that's actually makes life so interesting and rich and powerful and worthwhile. But still, people deserve this insight. Okay, they deserve a chance to protect themselves and their kids. You know, and also we deserve to have this to heal. People deserve the truth. You deserve the truth. You deserve the truth. You deserve the chance to sort of look at this from that perspective and heal. Okay? You deserve the chance to look at this. You deserve that insight. You deserve, again, like there are people who are probably thinking, oh yeah, you know, like I don't believe in these things and that sort of, and that's fine. Okay? That's fine. I understand, you know, but it is real. Okay? As far as my experiences show. And I think it could be really healing to go to the roots of this and pull up those roots and just be like, aha, and check it away. Okay. But also then take stock of what we've learned through these programs and stuff in secret societies, and then turn it into something, you know, integrate it into mainstream awareness. We're heading in that direction anyway. But this could be something that could really heal mankind. Okay, this could really to put an end to this situation, this dynamic on this planet. All right. So again, like I said, a lot of people have gone into the wheels because of this stuff, you know. And again, I'm feeling like a lot of grace and love and mercy coming through from you know, the divine, our friends in spirit. A lot of love and compassion and grace and mercy, you know, coming through, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of, you know, and they want to extend that to people at this very critical time on this planet. Very critical time, because we're going to planetary changes, and because of AI proliferation and the dynamics on this planet, it's very, very important that we stop this before these things accelerate, these changes accelerate. Okay, so because momentum will potentially take us out